I believe that the time is coming for FIL, and I think that FIL during the next bull run could hypothetically at least go to the price of $100. And even though that is not financial advice, and even though that is not a guarantee, here are several reasons why I believe it could very well happen during the next bull run. First of all, I think that FIL is very special. When we take a look at FIL, what is it, right? FIL is the native currency of Filecoin. FIL is a utility token used to incentivize persistent storage on the Filecoin network. And personally speaking, I do believe that Filecoin is spectacular. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Filecoin is a peer-to-peer network that stores files with built-in economic incentives and cryptography to ensure that files are stored reliably over time. Filecoin is built on top of the same software that is powering the IPFS protocol, which, by the way, is a peer-to-peer distributed storage network that leverages content addressing to allow permanent references to the data and avoids relying on specific devices or cloud servers for addressing the content. However, I think it should be noted that Filecoin is different from IPFS because Filecoin has an incentive layer on top to incentivize contents to be reliably stored and accessed. Filecoin also enables several use cases ranging from Web3 native NFT and metaverse/game asset storage, incentivize permanent storage, and also even archiving Web2 datasets as a cheaper alternative to cloud storage. So with that being said, I do believe that Filecoin has amazing fundamentals. I think it's so spectacular. However, it doesn't end there because in my opinion, Filecoin is doing very well as of right now, statistically speaking. If we take a look at this, we will see that on its network, it has been able to process over 493,000 messages in the past 24 hours alone. And it even has a block height of over 3.1 million, which I find very impressive. Furthermore, I also do believe that Filecoin is focused on the right industry. As we all know, Filecoin is focused on the data storage industry. And when it comes to the data storage industry, I actually think that it has a lot of potential. And let me show you what I'm talking about. If we take a look at this, according to Fortune Business Insights, they predict that over the next 7 years, the data storage industry is expected to reach over $777 billion in size, which I think is a very insane amount, by the way. I think that, if anything, truly visualizes just how much potential the data storage industry has. And I think that moving forward, as the data storage industry continues to grow, I think so will fundamentally amazing projects, much like Filecoin, that are focused on data storage. And in addition, I think a major catalyst for the future growth of Filecoin is the fact that I think that the blockchain technology market has a lot of potential. And there's data that backs this up, because if we take a look at this, we will see that by 2030, the blockchain technology market is expected to reach over $1.4 trillion. And I think that moving forward, as the blockchain technology market continues to grow, I think so will Filecoin. I think that the future of Filecoin could look so bright. And personally speaking, I think a major contributing factor, which could very well allow Filecoin's native currency, called FIL, to reach the price of at least $100 during the next bull run, is the fact that I think that the next bull run could look so legendary. And here's my rationale. Currently, there's more people than ever before in history owning cryptos. And no, that is not a joke. Currently, there's over 420 million people around the globe owning cryptocurrencies. And just to give this number some context, when we take a look back in 2021, during that massive bull run, at that time, there was roughly only around 300 million people owning cryptocurrencies. So just imagine this, if the 2021 bull run looked that massive with roughly only around 300 million people owning cryptos, just imagine what the next bull run could potentially look like, especially now that we have over 420 million people owning cryptos. In my opinion, when you have that many people owning cryptos, during the next bull run, the amount of FOMO, buying pressure, and buying volume could very well be through the roof. And I think that during the next bull run, Bitcoin could hypothetically at least go to the price of $100,000. I think it could very well happen. And I think that if that were to happen, I think the altcoin season at that point would just be absolutely so amazing. And I think that when altcoins start rallying, I think so will fundamentally amazing cryptocurrencies, much like FIL. So overall, when I consider the use case of Filecoin, when I consider how well it is doing right now, when I consider what industry it is focused on, and last but not least, when I consider just how massive the next bull run could be, I really do believe that Filecoin's native currency, called FIL, could very well at least go to the price of $100 during the next bull run. I think there are so many positive factors that could very well allow FIL to reach amazing heights during the next bull run. I think the future of FIL could really look so spectacular. And if you want to check out a very interesting video, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very fantastic video, and I think you all would really love it.